Welcome to another episode of the Fitish podcast. I am very tired today.
Why? You get up at 4 a.m. every day?
Well, that, Jenna, but I should be awarded. I feel like I need the husband medal award or whatever the hell we call it. But
we just call it thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
What?
Because I got up this morning.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go make my coffee. And I noticed there's one pod left. One pod. And I thought to myself, who gets crankier if they're not drinking that coffee, me or Kinsey? And the answer is Kinsey. So I decided I was going to leave it to her.
That's sweet.
And I left her the last pod, and she actually came into my office this morning while I was working, and she said, "Thank you for leaving me the last coffee pot," which is a way different Kinsey than I had 2 days ago.
And then you're like, yeah, could you run to the store and get some more?
She said she was going to, but I was like, sometimes you got to be selfless a little bit and not selfish. And in marriage, and it's the little things where you got to be selfless, not like the big old things where we're sharing money. And
you're
it's our
so
accounts. Right.
I know. Fran and I didn't have the best weekend.
Really, same.
And,
maybe relationship is in Mercury in retrograde or something.
Well, my mom's mom passed away. And
No.
now she hasn't been on good terms with the family because they're all absolutely psychotic. And so for many years, right? So it was like part of this whole deal kind of through therapy and stuff that I decided, my mom couldn't really have contact with her family anymore. It was actually quite dramatic. And
are you and Candy the only non-psychotic people that are women in your family?
I mean, I want to say that we're the only non-psychotic people, but if it runs in the family, it's bound to take over us at some point, right?
I don't know.
No, we're not the only non-psychotic people, but there was just a lot of drama. My grandmother actually, when it wasn't my mom's dad, her dad died when she was 15, but her stepfather or whatever passed away some years ago. And after that, as it tends to happen, the spouse goes downhill really quickly. So my grandmother had dementia. And so anyway, from some other drama I don't really want to get into right now, but it was just bad. It was a really bad situation for my mom. My mom was in a really bad place for many years. It was just something actually I've never talked about. It was really, really difficult. I feel like I saved my mom from dying in a way, truthfully, it was that bad. And we have a wonderful relationship. And Candy's just amazing and doing so much better now. And so it's been a struggle though, because my mom's such a family person. And so, all of that being said, she hadn't spoken, a really traumatic situation happened 5 or 6 years ago. And so it's been that long since she kind of cut all that family off. But she started in the last few days getting phone calls from a certain family member. And she finally was she just knew something had probably happened. And so my grandmother passed away, and, I think my mom was filled with a lot of emotions because how do you, you've already kind of grieved the loss of someone, right? When you have this sort of breakup in a relationship, but it's still sad. I mean, it's still very sad, to recognize that, we're getting older and your mother passes away and, they're not even having a funeral. And so, which is probably a good thing for us because we probably weren't going to share in that with that family anyway. And
do you think it's because every time you have, and I know this happens a lot with friends and I guess with family members, when you have one of those breakups, there's still that little piece in the back of your mind where maybe they'll get better mentally, or maybe they'll switch their stance, and we can rekindle this relationship.
Sure.
And that's always there, right? And you just kind of hold on to that. But once somebody passes, that's gone, and that's when it hits harder.
It's gone. I mean, I think a lot of us probably go through that with friends or family, right? And I think, my mom feels differently about family than I do. I think growing up as an only child, and of course now my dad's remarried and I have siblings. We have a, really good relationship these days. But, there was a time there that I wasn't speaking to my dad, because some real shitty things happened. And when my parents got divorced, then I was old enough to be very hurt by what happened. And, now I think now all I care about is that people are happy. And people would say that to me, if you imagine what would happen, if your father passed away tomorrow and you hadn't spoken to him in a year, how would you feel? And when you're so mad at the time, you're like, whatever.
I'd be fine.
I mean, I'm obviously really glad we have a much better relationship now. But I truly believe that my mom, she knew that this was going to happen. I mean, my grandmother, didn't even really know what was going on 5 years ago. So I can't even really believe that, family kept her alive this long.
Yeah.
We kind of figured that she'd died and they were taking all of her Social Security benefits,
Oh my.
It's really that ugly. It was
a
real
movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We have some bad family. Anyway, so, it was weird because how do you grieve? And I'm sure this happened a lot during COVID. How do you grieve and process when you don't even get to say goodbye? You don't get to especially my mom, she wants to like, have a service or go to a grave, and, they've decided to cremate her. So my mom's not even going to get to go like see, where she is. And so I told her, I was like, well, there's a headstone. I mean, she may not be in the ground, but I'm of the belief that like they're not really under there anyway. Yeah. But we could still go there and have a place to, just her and I. So it's hard because I don't really know how to be there for my mom. And Fran walks up the stairs the other day, and I've been, going through something else I can tell you about. And he has this huge bouquet of flowers, which was so sweet. And inside I was like, aww. Oh, I hope he knows, please be for my mom and not for me. Because my mom was in the kitchen and they were. And she was oh, you're always so sweet to Jenna. He goes, actually, these are for you. And giving my mom, it was such a great move. Oh, she started crying because she works at a florist and no one ever gives her flowers. It was such a good move.
See, Fran.
And they were for her. They weren't for me. They were for her anyway. But so thoughtful,
ladies,
right?
Get yourself a Latin man. I'm telling you, we do it right. Except me. Sometimes I mess up.
But you try.
I do try.
Y'all try. Fran and I have to just go ahead and tell y'all, so we lost the transfer.
You did?
Yeah.
How'd you feel emotionally? Did you feel wrecked? Did you feel like, okay, we're going to keep trying? A little bit of both.
I took a couple pregnancy tests. They tell you not to do that before, and I got my blood work done yesterday. They tell you to not do that because it could still maybe be positive. But I waited, you have to wait 2 weeks after you do a transfer to go to the doctor. So I have been so miserable the last couple of weeks because you can't exercise, you can't have sex, you can't do any strenuous anything. You can't take a bath, you can't submerge in water. It's just a lot of don't do's. And I was so good, y'all. I mean, I was like almost on bed rest the first few days, laid low. It's really disappointing, but I took those tests and they were both negative. Yeah. And of course I'm up all night reading these IVF support group blogs and doing these shots every day that are brutal. And I really was hopeful because most of my girlfriends that have done this, their first transfer worked and it was 65%. And I was like, I was hopeful. But when those tests were both negative, I was emotional on Saturday before I did my blood work because I was feeling strange. The test was negative. Fran and I kind of started arguing because I think men want to fix, and there's just been a lot going on in our lives. And, men want to fix problems and they don't realize in IVF, like men can't fix it, like you just need to be there and hug me when I'm crying. But I was so emotional. So I think, talk about grieving, I think I grieved before I got the actual results because when I went to get that blood work done yesterday, I told the nurse that my test was negative at home and she's like, oh, and I was like, yeah. Have you ever had someone with negative test at home and the blood work be positive? She goes, once.
One time, and they do hundreds a day probably.
And then the doctor called yesterday and it was negative. So Fran was very upset. And then of course our family's really invested. So we had to let them know. So I'm letting everyone know. I mean, the process now, it's upsetting. I mean, there's nothing wrong with me. It's just, it wasn't 100%. So we got to do it again. A lot of women have done this many times. So no, I'm going to suck it up. We're going to immediately start again. I get to stop those shots for a minute and I have to start all that over. Right. So it's about another 4 to 6 weeks before I get to do another transfer. So it's fucking time consuming.
What
and
a
it's
roller
upsetting.
coaster. And you're right. To touch on that, on the us guys trying to fix things. And I do the same thing. And I think a lot of dudes listening right now, probably you get in trouble with your girl when she's talking to you. We just need to sit there and look at them and make eye contact and hold them instead of going like, well, what you should probably do is.
Or what do you want me to do? Yeah.
That's what we struggle the most with as dudes. But you know what? I'm not struggling right now. And this is a weird segue is my lawn.
Really, out of all the endorsements we have today, you're going to segue into the lawn care.
Because this is like the manliest thing. I went from like my biggest insecurity as a dude is that we suck and making you guys feel better to being a dude and like making the lawn look right.
No, I like that you say this though, because that is something that you can do to make women feel better is just do something around the house to be of assistance, you know?
Well, what do people see when they first drive up to your house? Your lawn. And that's where Sunday comes in because Sunday's more than just a lawn care product. It's a custom lawn care plan with a variety of ways to help you grow a beautiful lawn.
I love that they have a day of the week as their company name. It's great.
Yeah, and Sunday. Most of us like to do the yard work on a Sunday. And the cool thing about this is that it's customized to your home. In fact, you give them your address, and it literally showed me a little satellite picture of my yard. And it went, yeah, your yard's about this big. This is what you're going to need. And then they ask you, do you want any pest control add-ons? So I said, absolutely, because I got them red ants on that bad boy. So let's get some of that going.
Yeah, Sunday uses soil and climate data to create a tailored nutrient plan so you get all the stuff your lawn needs and nothing it doesn't.
I'm telling you, you're going to end up looking like an expert. Like my neighbor was like, yo, how'd you make your lawn look so green right after this winter storm we had? And I was like, don't you worry about it, man. I went to school for this crap, all right? No, I didn't. I let Sunday do it for me.
And you know what else is so important that I know that I don't have the knowledge, but kind of the chemicals that are used and stuff, right? So they don't use any of the nasty stuff, so you can feel totally confident that your kids rolling around in the grass or your
pets,
dogs, they're going to be totally fine.
Yeah, if you got kids or pets, Sunday's going to be perfect for you. And it's honestly the easiest. They just give you your packet, you put it on the hose attachment, and then you just go out there and do it. I mean, they literally tell you exactly what you need to do to make your yard look right. So let Sunday take the guesswork out of growing greener, more beautiful lawns this spring. Visit getsunday.com/Fitish. Get $20 off your custom lawn plan at checkout. That's $20 off your custom plan at getsunday.com/Fitish.
Speaking of pretty greenery, do you know what Francisco and I did yesterday?
Smoked weed?
No.
Oh.
No, it's actually been a long. I haven't smoked weed in a really long time.
You've been doing all this treatment.
Aside from that, even before all the IVF, no, I don't know. I just went through this phase again, and now it's been for like years that I just like don't do it anymore. I don't know why. I think I had like a bad experience, and then I was like over it for a bit. But anyway, no, we went somewhere that him and I haven't been together before. I think we were just trying to get out of the house because we were waiting on those results, and so we wanted to be together when we got that phone call, and so we went to the Arboretum. And it was like not that great because they're about to do an exhibit, so they actually didn't have tons of flowers and stuff there. But
so it's just nothing.
No, it's beautiful. We walked around, and they have multiple restaurants, and so the downside is we were surrounded by babies and kids, so like it was kind of a hard day to do that because I think that's what a lot of moms do during the day. They have like the membership, so you can just like take your kids to walk around because it's on a lake and it's beautiful, right? But there was a restaurant that you can like sit out on the patio and you don't even feel like you're in Dallas, Texas. Like you feel kind of like you're in Europe. And so we sat and had lunch together and like tea and just like, of course, nervously waited the results of the test. But
I'm the biggest downer when it comes to going to the Arboretum. I just am.
Are you a downer going to museums? Because we think we're going to start a weekly thing where we have a lunch date somewhere like that.
No, museums are cool.
Okay.
But some about the Arboretum, even though it's beautiful and everything, to me it's a pollen fest, right? So
Fran's walking through. He's like sneezing. He's like, man, I should have taken a Claritin.
I'm like, this.
He was so sick last night.
I've gone a handful of times because Kinsey loves taking the kids out there, and every time I'm like walking around, just my nose is stuffed up, and right now it's the worst time to be coughing anything in public, and I'm like, this shit just sucks right now.
It's true.
And everybody's like, oh, let's take beautiful pictures, and I'm walking around like the biggest grump ever because of stupid pollen.
There were so many photo shoots going on. Yeah. But anyway, well, I don't know. You can poo-poo on the idea, but
museums are dope though.
You're right. Fran and I think it's hard to find moments of bonding. And I mean, we don't even have kids yet, but he has been swamped with work and I am too. And so it's hard because by the time night comes around, neither him or I really, like, he plays chess on his phone, or we've been watching Friends, or I started watching Peaky Blinders again. And so, you're just kind of tuned out sitting on the couch, right? And so it's hard to kind of connect at night in that way because we both want to read, or, we're just kind of tired and not into each other. And so we're like, well, what if we can carve out one day a week to meet for lunch? We don't work that far apart.
That's great.
It's easier said than done, but I mean, that's a good plan, right?
Absolutely.
To try and do that. I mean, how do you make the time, especially with your kids? I mean, do you and Kinsey even really have much just one-on-one time anymore?
The older the kids get, the less time we get together.
Really?
And so we try to get the kids to bed by 8:30 because I go to bed by 9:30.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got one good hour in there.
About one good hour. So that's the hour where we got to fit in a show to watch together.
Yeah.
So whether it be a Dateline or just a random TV show, and then you got to fit in the sexy
and no
time.
phones.
No, this is where I get a little upset with Kinsey.
We're all terrible though, right? Like the show's on and we're on our phones.
That's what there's nothing more just that makes me feel defeated than when I look over and we're watching something and I'll start laughing and she doesn't, and I'll look over and it's because she's on her phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like, are you gonna watch with me? Or are you gonna hang out with me? Or are you just gonna be on your phone? She goes, I haven't had time all day to be on the phone. I'm like, but you have. There's got to be some time during the day where you can get on your phone and talk to your friends, because this is supposed to be our time. My thing is, I'm really good about this to the point where I miss some work calls, or I miss some emails, or something important because
you never answer when I call.
I know, because what I do is at 6 p.m. I take my phone and I put it in my bedroom. And I still have my Apple Watch, so I still get notifications, and I can glance down and see if it's like my boss George. I gotta go answer that shit. But I put my phone down in the room because I don't even want to be able to reach for it.
And get on social media.
And get on social media because then you get lost
amazing.
in it. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at this because there's days where I'll have it there.
Yeah, but I like this.
And so I go put it at 6 o'clock. That way I can focus on the kids like we did this yesterday. And we played Trouble. We played a game board. A board game. That's my Mexican coming out. Yeah. We played a board game and it was fine because Kinsey's phone was in the room because it died. Mine was in the bedroom and we played a game. Then they got in the shower, went to bed, and then we hung out together and had a good time. But you always have to just set that time apart and freaking put the phone down. Just put it down. And then you can put it down later. You know what I'm saying? I
was reading an article on, and then you can do it later. I was reading an article on, kind of the habits of, successful, highly productive people sort of thing. Yeah. And they said that something that they do, I mean, it's not as much that they're not on the phone. It's kind of the order of prioritizing stuff in the morning and so I'm trying to get in the habit in the morning. And I know it's hard for you with the way you roll into work, but I think we get overwhelmed sometimes with stuff we feel like we need to respond to. And so I used to the second you get something, you have this sense of urgency to respond to it. But, someone sent you an email, you don't, unless you have to respond right away, it doesn't need to be a priority. So they say if you can start your morning off doing things that fill you, recharge you. So whether that's exercise, whether that is doing something, they say if you can do something, creative, I mean, this is more business leaning, but, whether it's reading or just doing something that makes you feel more whole, that you're going to be far more productive throughout the course of the day. So don't wake up and immediately start responding to work emails, but actually, film content for your job or do something with your children, do something that's fulfilling for you. And then, section off the time to respond, to all of those emails.
You should always put your significant other and your family and friends in front, especially if you're because there's so many workaholics listening right now.
Yeah, but I put my business in front of everything. And I really do, except for myself is what I'm trying to. Yeah.
But you're building something. And there's going to be a time where you're going to get to the point where you built it and
then you need to figure out your life.
And then you figure out your life. But here's the reason is because, and I know we've heard this a lot. If something happens to you and you're a workaholic and you're working 80 hours a week and you put not going to your kids' games or you put off, hey baby, I can't go to lunch today because I got a meeting at work, and you promised them you would go. If something happens to you and you die, your boss is going to be sad, but they're going to replace you within a week or two. Mm-hmm. And after that week or two, they'll still think about you from time to time, but that person will come in, they'll take your cubicle or your desk, and then the company's going to keep going. But the people that are going to mourn the most for the rest of their lives is your family. The people that really care the most about you. So that's when you start thinking about it that way, that's when you got to realize, man, I really do have to put more of an effort towards my family. I came to that conclusion probably in my late 20s. Yeah. Because I felt like I was, and not that I don't work hard, but I prioritize my family more. Where if they ask me to do something for work and my son's got a football game, I used to say, sorry, sorry, Kinsey, or sorry, Kason, I got to go to work. Now I say, sorry, work, I got to go to my son's game. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Work is really cool about that. They totally understand that family's important. It's okay to say no to your job.
I've always said I need a kid. It's the best excuse to get out of everything, and I've never had that excuse. I used to resent the shit out of y'all on the show because literally you and Kelly would be like, I have something, and I was just like, so I need to have a kid to have the excuse.
And your coworkers are really cool about it too, because Jenna and Al, they'd always be like, yeah, Kelly and JC's they got
your
kids.
Your kid has something. I was like, man, I need to have a kid. I need to have a prop kid. Now I'm trying to have a real kid.
Somebody can cover for you, so just make sure you make time for that.
I'll tell you what I make time for too, that's make me feel good, especially because I am going to miss this part. I get a reprieve from my butt injections. My butt is very bruised, but unfortunately that means I'm not going to get Fran's, 60 to 120 seconds of massaging that the doctor requires him to do after the shot. But it does mean that I'll get back to using my Theragun again.
Oh man, I love my Theragun.
I love the Theragun too so much because let's be honest, most of our partners really aren't very good when you're like, rub me. And this is obviously a totally different kind.
It lasts 20 seconds and then they're like, okay, is that good? Yeah. You know what Theragun never does?
He's gotten worse over the years. Yeah. I'm like, what's happened here?
Your Theragun is never going to say no unless you forgot to charge it. So make sure you charge it, but it'll keep going as long as you want.
The charge lasts a long time. I can't even recall the last time I had to charge mine. So this is a Handheld percussive therapy device, releasing your deepest muscle tension using a scientifically calibrated combination of depth, speed, and power. And it's very quiet. It actually gets to the source of the pain. So it's really amazing, especially if you're active or you're sitting all day and you have, I get a lot of IT band issues from sitting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where I use mine. It's such a nice, because I can't do any of that myself with my hands. So just putting this device right along your IT band, you're going to feel so much better.
Now, if you're wondering, does it really work? Is it really beneficial to me? Just go watch a sporting event and see the basketball players on the sideline or go the NFL players on the sideline. They're all getting worked on with percussion therapy.
You're right, JC. Theragun's actually trusted by 250 professional sports teams like Real Madrid and elite athletes like Paul George, DeAndre Hopkins, Maria Sharapova, hundreds of thousands of customers, and me and JC. Try Theragun for 30 days starting at only $199. Go to Theragun.com/Fitish right now to get your Theragun today. That's Theragun.com/Fitish. Theragun.com/Fitish.
Speaking of athletes, I bought the fight this last weekend.
Is it, you mean like the Jake Paul fight?
That's a fight, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's a fighter now.
I mean, I don't like the guy, but he's pretty good.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. He's actually a decent boxer, and people can say, he's
So is he boxing or MMA fighting? I don't know anything. He's boxing.
He's just straight up boxing, and he's not bad based on the people he's faced, and he's faced a YouTuber that's actually not a bad fighter. He's faced a former NBA player who is a great athlete and knocked him out cold, and now he just fought an MMA fighter and knocked him out cold as well.
Do you think, I don't know, the girls up front, I guess they had watched it that worked for me, and they don't like Jake Paul, and they think that whole thing is just set up for him to win?
It was not set up. Because I've been watching.
I don't believe anything.
I watched Ben Askren afterwards, and he basically said he felt like a dumbass. He feels like an idiot. I saw a YouTuber that was there at the fight. He had snuck into the fight and saw Ben Askren afterwards, and you could tell Ben was just humiliated.
How was Bieber? I heard it was like a Bieber concert with the fight.
Bro.
Yeah.
So Bieber, I love Justin. Jenna, you know this. I love Justin Bieber. I don't care what you say. I know I'm a grown ass man. I freaking love that kid. In fact, we have similar styles. I think he copies me.
You've always been a believer.
I always
from
have
day
been.
one.
From the I think
before there were believers.
I think it's just because I met him so young and we hung out for a week and
you bought him a hat.
Yeah, we connected, and I have no interaction with him. Haven't had interaction with him ever since because some crap happened. But he was awesome. He sounded great. The only thing was that his shoelace came undone when he was performing. And I was the whole time just feeling anxiety because I'm like, yo, he's going to trip because he's jumping around and he's walking and like it was on the left side of the left side of his right shoe or whatever. And it was like right in the death path of the other shoe.
Wow, you watched his performance closely.
I was watching it closely, but I felt like I ended up listening to his "I'm So Lonely" song afterwards because I called a couple friends, and I don't call very many people to come hang out with me because I'm kind of a recluse. And I said I'm gonna call 3 people, like my closest friends, and see if because I felt like I needed people around me. I felt
to invite them over to watch the fight.
Yeah,
you mean?
I just felt I felt really lonely, and I just wanted interaction with friends. And it was one of those like I can mask it by saying, "Hey, come watch the fight," but also I need like a friend right now.
Yeah.
And I got turned down by all of them.
Yeah, isn't this the case though? Like when you start to get into your late 30s, like you really don't have any friends anymore.
Yeah, it was
unless they're like kids. In this, it's all motivated by children, right?
Like it used to be like back in the day, you would be like, hey,
did they have kids?
I need somebody. One of them does.
What's the other's excuse?
They were busy.
Yeah. How much heads up did you give them?
The whole day.
Oh, the same day.
That morning. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
One said they were just they didn't feel like going anywhere.
Yeah, maybe they're lonely and depressed though.
Maybe they are. But
why don't you go to them?
Why don't you come to me? Because I got the fight. See, I don't like
because you bought it. But I'm old enough that I'd just buy it too.
Well, that's fine. But I sometimes you got to feel your friends out and be like, yo, he kind of sounded a little bit sad. Kind of want to go over there.
Why don't you just tell them that? See, this is what's so fucked up about dudes. Like, why don't you just tell them, I feel lonely, will you come hang out with me? That's what I'd say to a girlfriend. Like, I just need someone right now. Can you go meet me for lunch?
As guys, we're
so direct. I love it. It's amazing.
Because I'm a cheap ass. I don't buy fights all the time. I only buy stuff when I need somebody to
Do you remember when you and I used to buy fights together, or you would buy fights and I would come over? We lived in the same apartment complex.
Yep.
And this was a time that I actually was like really into watching the fights. And well, they used to be better, right? Like I feel like they're not, some of them aren't as exciting anymore. But anyway, so we would buy fights, but then they would never come on until midnight. And JC and I were so tired that we would fall asleep. And I remember one night I woke up on his couch. I don't remember where Kinsey was. I woke up, we were both sound asleep on like different couches. We had missed the entire fight. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to go home. And I just like walked back to my apartment.
Kinsey was up cleaning, I think. She was awake cleaning.
She was like, y'all slept through the whole damn thing.
The entire thing. I think we watched like one fight in
like
the
the
prelims.
early fight. This happened on more than one occasion though. We were tired.
Yeah, our job, man, it just knocked us out for the weekend. Like if we weren't out at a club and we were at home partying, we would pass out.
I've been seeing, like, I know these clubs are all open again, and I'm like, I know it's an age thing for me, and I never liked the clubs to begin with, but oh my gosh, they're just packed. Like, there's no pandemic anymore. Like, they are just like...
It's crazy. And I'm going to Vegas this weekend.
What?
And I don't want to go to Vegas.
Is this for the brother-in-law's bachelor party?
This is the bachelor party.
So this is his crew of friends. No one you know. No other family of yours.
Nope. I don't know anybody going on this trip.
How many dudes?
I think there's going to be 8, including me.
Are you thrilled? I feel like you don't like Vegas.
I hate Vegas.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just hate it. The douchebag level that you see. Not the girls.
But you're the older guy. Why don't you just like kind of, go hang out with them one night or, here and there? Why do you have to do all the bullshit?
Because it's his bachelor party and I'm a groomsman too.
This make me sound terrible. I was like, oh, I'm older. Like, no, y'all go, or like, I'll go to dinner with y'all. Y'all have fun tonight.
Don't think I haven't thought about the dip.
You're gonna dip.
So the dip. This is what you do when you don't.
It's the dad dip.
It's the dip. So my plan is that I'll go to the damn parties or wherever they want to go to. I really don't want to go to a strip club. Strip clubs, I'm not a big fan of going to, especially right now during the pandemic.
Oh, but I bet the Vegas ones are so good. They're like top quality.
Honestly, I've never been to a Vegas one, so I don't know.
You gotta go to like Crazy Horse or something, right? I bet they're legit.
Okay. So all the girls fly in on the weekends from other places, apparently. So it's like the 18
performances. Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know. I feel bad
for the girls.
Not for the
those girls are. I bet those girls make more money than I do.
I just now
way more.
And I'm like a girl dad now, and I'm like I feel like I would just want to get like, hey. Like, what's going on in your life? How's it crazy? Are guys treating you nice?
I get that at the bad strip clubs. Do you know what I mean? Like the ones that they're stripping at like 3 o'clock on a Monday. Not as much the Friday night in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're getting like their career. These girls are career dancers.
See, I'm more into like talking and like getting to know the person.
There's always that guy.
You want to dance? No, but like, tell me about your life. Like, what are you studying?
What's good on this menu?
I'm like, can you give me
what's good on this menu?
I don't know why I'm that
boobs
guy.
Are out.
I don't know why I'm that guy. But the dip is so what I'm gonna do, and this is the plan, is I'm gonna try to buy the guy shots, right? Or get him to buy shots.
Get him really drunk.
Get him drunk. So by midnight or so, they're gonna be so wasted.
Yeah.
Right? That your boy, who did not take all the shots, can just dip. And maybe I'll go gamble for a little bit, and maybe I'll just go back to the hotel and watch a movie.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Get some room service.
Whatever, Wake
up, go to the gym.
Not be hung over. Wake up and go to the gym.
I've done a spa weekend in Vegas before that I didn't party at all, and it was amazing. Like
best.
Shows and a spa and dinner, and like didn't go to a club, didn't get trashed, barely gambled. It was a nice weekend.
Now, I know what you're thinking, JC. Aren't they going to call you a pussy? The next morning they'll be like, "Oh, JC dipped out on us. What a bitch." No, because here's what happens. They're going to be like, "Yo, last night was dope." You just pretend like you were there.
They're going to know you weren't there.
No. They're going to be so wasted. You make them think. You can plant memories into people's brains when they're that drunk. And when they're like, "Yo, you remember when so-and-so did this?" I was like, "Yes, bro. Definitely hilarious." And they'll be like, you were there? Yeah, totally. I was there too. What time did you go back? What time did we go back? I don't remember, man. We were so drunk. 3 a.m. Oh, yeah. And then it's doable. And that's the plan right there. That is the plan. Except if
how old are they?
They're like anywhere from between 23 to, I believe, 38.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, you get mid-20s guys, their drinking tolerance. Think about your drinking tolerance. You had a killer drinking tolerance at that age. They're like in peak drinking performance condition.
Yeah, but weed is legal over in Vegas, so I'm thinking some of those guys are going to be smoking mad ganja and freaking...
You get them edibles. I mean, you'll put someone to bed for the whole night. That's another idea.
I'm not trying to get them to bed. I'm trying to get them to where they don't remember and they can think that I was there the whole time, and that way I don't get the bitch label. That's the goal. It's that little fine line that I'm going to walk in Vegas.
Do you have your own room?
No. Oh. I'm sharing with the groom. Oh. I'm sharing with my brother-in-law. Oh. Should I get my own room?
I mean,
Well, he said,
I'm just a weirdo, obviously. Like I share a room with a girlfriend on a vacation, but like in this scenario, when you go to Vegas, I think it's always a good idea to get your own room, because then they're going to come back in the middle of the night. They're going to party in the groom's room. They're going to wake up the groom.
No, you don't party in the groom's room. You go party in some other bozo's room.
Okay. All right. We'll just let you learn the hard way.
I'm still at the club. Remember? I'm still partying.
Yeah. But they're going to know when you're in bed and he comes home that you've been there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's that possibility.
Oh, that private room.
But they were trying to get me to room with some dude that's single and stuff. I'm like, you don't want to room with me, the married guy. You're going to try to bring a chick home and then I'm going to be already sleeping. Like, you don't want to do that. Go room with another single guy, and you guys both can bring girls over and do whatever you need to do. Mm-hmm. I didn't want a single guy, so I had to fight.
The other danger is you're going to have more people crashing in your room because the single guy is going to bring someone home.
No, there's only two of us in the room.
You should have just stayed at another hotel completely. That's what I would do. Listen to how antisocial I am. I'd stay at a different hotel with my own room and be like, I'll see you all tomorrow. They're like, oh, Jenna's just being Jenna. Yeah.
I might. I mean, it's still early. I could still get my own room, I think, right? I don't think Vegas is that crazy where it's all booked up.
I don't think it's that crowded. No, definitely not.
I would really like
They were for a while were like paying you to go.
And honestly, I don't like sharing a room with other people. And I know it's dudes, but it's still like the whole pooping thing. Like, if I don't know you, I don't want to smell your poop or your farts.
I don't think anyone wants to smell anyone else's,
like,
right?
If I know you well enough, like, I'm down. Like, I could deal with it. Like, I could do it with my best friends. I already knew it. Like, growing up, I already know what your poop's
So you just don't like new poop?
I don't like new poop. Like, I need an introductory, like, to your smells and, like, to who you are as a person before I can take that in. So that's another, and then I'm going to end up as being as a guy that has to go to the lobby. I got to be the lobby poop guy.
See, this is why you need your own room.
I think I'm going to get my own room, Jenna.
Yeah, I'm glad we convinced you. If anything good has come of today's podcast and our hangout, it is that you are going to get your own room. You're an almost 40-year-old man. Get your own room.
I still got a long time to go before 40.
2 years?
Well, like when you say 2.
Or are you lying about your age,
why do you say 2 years when you could say 700 days? Sounds like a way further.
Because I'm not that person. I'm not that person that when I have my baby, promise me, smack me across the face when I'm like, he's 37 months old.
You're going to do that?
Fuck, no, I'm not.
Well, first of all,
I'm going to go, he's 2-ish.
You don't say 37. You stop at 20 months. Once you get to like 20, like 2 years old, you stop.
Do, but I'm saying a lot of people don't. They do that all the time. No, I'm going to be like, I don't know, he's like 1 something. 2 something. I'm going to do it intentionally because it's funny. I'm going to be like, how old is he? I'm going to be like, I don't know, he's about 1. Because then, he could be 10 months, 11 months. He could be 13 months. He's about 1.
I'm to the point where I forget how old I am, by the way. Do you ever forget how old you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I do. I've been saying my age so much in the last year, so I also forget. I just realized I wrote a bunch of checks this morning, and I never write checks, but I had a bunch of medical, bills, so I just decided I just don't want to call and talk to people. Again, I'm antisocial, so I just wanted to write checks, and I have stamps, and so I use my checks. I dated all the checks 20. It's 21. I mean, I do that because, when you don't write checks for a long time and you sign stuff, yeah.
Did you do just the 20?
No, I put them in the mail.
You did? No, but you threw them already in the mail. Because the easy fix if you put 20 is that you just go 20, 21. You could add the 21 at the end of it.
I have a feeling they'll cash them.
They won't.
I bet they will.
No, isn't it up after a year? I think there's like a expiration.
Only on some checks. Yeah, it all depends.
They should give us a cushion, after the first 6 months of the year. They should let you mess up.
I'll give you an update because I know that it's just a very enthralling story if they cash my.
No, I want to do more check talk because. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to talk about checks.
Yeah, so I don't.
Or balances.
I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for me right now. I'm just gonna. This is the good news.
What?
We can have sex.
You and Fran
because of the field transfer.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta come on because people are gonna take sound bites from this podcast and they're gonna try to do things.
This is the good news. We can have sex.
Good.
I can drink wine.
When are you guys planning on breaking that? that chain?
Already did it.
Oh, you did?
All of it.
Cool.
Already
Congrats.
did it. I made friend buy me a pack of cigarettes. I had 2 puffs of one, and then I got very, very nauseous. So I decided that was a bad idea. I just wanted to do it because like I couldn't, and I was just trying to make myself feel better from the failed transfer.
Are you like an after sex smoker?
No. I
just so like, okay,
Fran called me when he was
gotcha.
leaving work yesterday. You know, he went in after we got the bad news, and he was like, "Do you need anything?" I was like, "Yes, I need like wine, cigs, salt and vinegar potato chips." Like, not that I couldn't have had those before. It just sounded nice.
They're
you know,
so
Trader
good.
Joe's has the best ones, by the way. We have sampled every kind of salt and vinegar potato chip on the market, and I have to say, Trader Joe's is absolutely the best, most concentrated flavor of salt and vinegar on the kettle cooked chip. It's the best.
Did you know Pringles salt and vinegar is actually a sneaky good one?
Is it?
Yeah.
But they're like those thin Pringles.
Yeah, it's a thin one.
Like once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah, you can't.
And they stick to your mouth.
And they still haven't come up with the push-up Pringles can, which is just ridiculous that you guys will not freaking give me the push-up can.
It's just expensive to
It's
make
not
that.
expensive. Just give me a little tab and you just push it
Like,
up.
I know it's
I'll
a
pay
good
20
idea.
cents extra for the
I
damn
have to
push-up
put my
can.
hand down the whole thing.
Yeah, and then your whole hand gets all greasy and like all chippy on it.
I only eat Pringles in hotel rooms, I realize. Like, I don't ever buy them. You know, sometimes they're on the mini bar and
Yeah.
they're the smaller one, and you come home at night and you're like, got a Pringles from like a hotel mini bar. They're amazing.
Have you ever been to a hotel where they freaking have some sort of weight thing?
Yes.
On the thing they take
So
it
you-
off and it charges you?
Yes.
Because my ass went to the hotel and I ate a couple Snickers and some Pringles and I think I had a drink. And then I went to the little 7-Eleven and I bought them back and I put them back and I still got charged. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, can I go back and get the ones that I freaking bought? And they said,
They'll take it off your bill if it's still sitting there, but if you moved it and ate it, then no, I think you
well,
have
I
to
did
pay
eat
for
it.
it. Yeah.
I did eat it. And yeah, did I switch the original Pringles to I only could find the onion ones? Yeah. But still, I replaced it with another can and they still charged me. And then they didn't let me go get them. So then some other guy got the free Pringles from me. So that pissed me off, never going back to that hotel.
Speaking of hotels, I haven't stayed in one in a really long time.
When was the last time
actually.
you stayed in a hotel?
So Fran and I snuck off because I had to shoot something cool right before I started this process. So we went to Mexico and stayed somewhere cool, and that was in January or February. I don't even remember. And before that, I hadn't stayed in one since like end of last summer, I think. And no, it got me thinking because I've spent a lot of time kind of fixing up the house. I had to do a photo shoot in the house last week for an interview I did. And like, my house is anyone's house like photo shoot ready? Like, it's half-ass decorated, not that clean to take photos everywhere. You know, Fran's nightstand is like, I mean, something, COVID happened on that nightstand. Something like COVID was born on that nightstand. I don't know. But, you know, we had to spend all this time, of course, when I'm like incubating to do this. But anyway, I've spent a lot of time fixing it up because I used to love staying in hotels because I love hotel bedding. But when all this happened and I was like, oh, I can't stay in a hotel, I was like, well, I'm going to get my sheets together because, you know, you need to have a really nice bed if, you know, there's no hotel vacation in sight. And so I don't know if you've been trying your Bowl and Branch sheets, JC, but
yeah.
they're so not only amazing, but sustainable.
They're on my
too.
bed right now, matter of fact. And we just washed them. There's nothing better than getting your Bowl and Branch sheets right out of the dryer and just cuddling up to them before you put them on the bed.
And I don't know about you, but I think that as a consumer, people are starting to smarten up. You know, they're kind of asking, are things ethically sourced and are they sustainable? Who's making these? Where are they coming from? Because you got to keep in mind, like, you know, the materials that go into sheets, like there's a lot of bad practices that brands use to create sheets in bulk like that. So that's something Bowl and Branch, you know, really likes to focus on, that they're not just comfortable and high quality, but they're sustainable. They're using raw materials. They're better for the planet. They're actually using responsible down is what they call it. Organic cotton and wool.
They look luxurious. I mean, they just looking at them, you're like, okay, these are some real sheets. In fact, we bought a second pair because we're gonna let our friends use the ones in the guest bedroom. That's how I treat my guests at my house because I want people to go away and go like, damn.
You gotta have a good guest bed.
They do. They're like, we
You
want
sound
to go
so
to.
fancy that you have a guest bed.
We do have a guest bed. Well, it's our old bed that we made the babies in, and then so if you stay at my house, that's where you're sleeping.
But, you know, if you care about the environment and you care about shopping more sustainably, Bowl and Branch is also fair trade certified. So you really can't go wrong. And like I said, so comfortable. Feel the difference quality makes at bowlandbranch.com/Fitish. That's BOLLANDBRANCH.com/Fitish. and branch.com/Fitish for 15% off your first set of sheets when you use the promo code Fitish at checkout. Again, that's bowlandbranch.com/Fitish, and the promo code is Fitish. Go get yourself some new sheets.
Is it bad that I let people sleep in the bed where I made 2 children? Because we got a new bed.
No, because you have new sheets on it.
Yeah, we do have new sheets on it. But it's just weird whenever like my parents come visit or Kenzie's mom comes visit, and I'm like, good night. Y'all sleep nice in that bed.
Yeah.
Treat it nice.
No. You got to do that love is art thing.
Yeah.
I got to pull that out for Fran. The canvas, and then you get it stretched.
Did you guys do it yet?
Hang it. No.
Oh, you haven't done it yet?
No.
I mean, we're getting pretty adventurous lately, so I'm down.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We go to that Sarah's Box place.
Sarah's Box?
Mm-hmm.
What is a sexy store?
Yeah, it's a sexy store.
I keep getting ads for sex toys on my social media. It's crazy.
That little sucky one?
Yes, they are spending a lot of money in advertising.
But man, so many girls are getting it, and apparently that thing, and by apparently, I'm telling you, yes, it is.
Oh, so you got it for Kinsey?
Oh, yeah.
And that doesn't make you feel, I feel like
No.
Fran feels like less than a man for
No.
using a toy.
Girls-
You know what I mean? And I'm like, get over it.
First of all, if you're a dude and you don't want your girl to get a toy because you feel like it's taken away from your manhood, shut up. Shut up, bro. Let her freaking...
I'm glad to hear you say that.
No.
I need to relay that to Fran. No, I mean, we definitely have stuff that we use, but I worry that he gets his feelings hurt if I'm like, use the toy.
Here's what we want as guys. And this is, or at least this is how I feel. Maybe, hopefully other guys feel this way. All we care about is that since we are probably not as good at lasting as you guys are, we just want to make sure you also...
It's not that we're trying to last. Sometimes it just takes a long time to get there.
But we want you to reach that level and that point as well. We want everybody to have a good time.
The problem with these toys, though, is like, it's just like too pleasurable.
But that's fine.
Like nothing can come, you know what I mean? Like it's too, it's just, there's too, it's, talk about stimulation. Like it's too pleasurable.
If this toy is the super stimulator and it's freaking giving you the gushers.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's disgusting. I can't believe you said that like that.
I was trying to go with a snack. Because I'm going with a food thing analogy here.
Too much today. Too much on today's show.
If that's the one that makes you, you know what I'm saying? We're cool with being just like the main course and like getting you ready for dessert. And if that's the dessert, the cherry on top, then that's fine. If that's what gets you there, that's what gets you there. That's cool.
Okay.
And then you get to discover things about your body that you didn't know about. It'll help us discover things about your body that you didn't know about. So you're just
like the amuse bouche.
Sure.
That's what you are.
I mean, I want Kinsey to like really look forward to also me as a main course. But yeah, I don't care if she wants. You're
like the piece of gum I had on the way to dinner.
Yeah, if I'm the mint, that's cool. That's fine. Everything's all good. Yeah, no, definitely try that. Every girl I've seen on social media, or even some of Kinsey's friends, or her in particular, says that that thing is, and this is hashtag not an ad.
No, it's not an ad.
I don't even know what it's called.
I've just been inundated with this ad. They don't actually have, I know exactly what you're talking about. They really don't have good branding or a good page. I'm sure they don't care because they're probably making so much money.
It looks like that thing that Kinsey has in the shower to like wash her face. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Mikey just pulled it up. So it looks like that.
Okay, that's not the one that I've been getting ads for.
Oh, no, that's the one you got to get, Jenna. The one Mike.
No, you should see the one I've been getting ads
Give
for.
Me a review,
it's
Mike.
even better than that.
Let me read your review here. No, because I'm telling you, these things, because so many girls are so scared to get these things.
I've read the reviews.
Producer Mike got me. All right, I'm going to get you a review right now.
No, that's so long. I've read these reviews. They're so dirty.
This rose gold silicone tipped beauty will make you feel like the queen you were always meant to be. You set this bad boy into position and it stays. I'm talking hands-free. You can watch your porn, eat a snack, browse Netflix, knit a sweater, whatever you want, ladies.
How long does it take her to...
Until 30 seconds later when you approach orgasm numero uno. It'll be small but powerful. Oh my God.
No. No, stop. It's like, I'm not trying to be lame, but like it's too dirty. People get the point.
You'll declit this so fast you won't even remember what you were doing. Catch your breath, then think to yourself, just one more won't hurt. A minute later, numero dos. I'm telling you. The reviews on this speak for themselves. We get it.
I know. I see it online. You're not trying to sell me on something. I get it. It's so funny. No, it's because, Fran will just be like, do you not like,
I'm
me?
telling you, Fran's going to be cool with it.
Dude, come on.
Chill, man. They sell this crap at like Target and Walmart now.
Yep. Well, it's about sexual health, you know. Big major department stores sell super designer sex toys. It's crazy to see that just like out in the open now, like in a Nordstrom.
But back to that thing, the little machine that cleans your face. What's it called?
Well,
it's like a brush thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It like sucks the blackheads out.
Yeah, they have different. There's a lot.
So here's the thing, guys. If your children happen to walk upon your magical suction thing,
right,
just tell them that it's the thing you use to clean your face, and then that way you avoid any weird interactions.
Then you find it in your kid's mouth. You're like,
no, see, never, because that way they won't do anything to it because like it's just a stupid face cleaning thing. If they do happen to find it, but do put it away.
This is all a good tip. Well, maybe we can get endorsed by them.
Would you? You didn't even want to read the review. I mean, I can continue if you want.
Well, because I think there's a way to endorse something without being that,
Now
sexual.
you've reached the need and exorcism level. Palms sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, weirdly craving spaghetti.
Did you write this review? Is that Eminem?
You'll become your biggest cheerleader.
Daisy actually wrote this review, y'all.
I did not write that review, but I am a proponent for this thing, man. Ladies, explore, do what you got to do, get yourself feeling right. Fellas, don't be jealous of it. Just be the additional, like the charcuterie.
Well, we know what Kinsey's doing when you're in Vegas, then, right?
And that's fine. And she can FaceTime me.
Yeah. Well, I'm just really looking forward to hearing about.
Like, it's
your
not fair that us
weekend.
guys we come equipped with 2 sex toys, so at least now you have one.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about your boys' trip.
Yep, it's gonna be so much fun when I dip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be dipping, and that thing right there, the buffet.
Credenza.
It's all called. I was gonna say credenza.
The buffet.
Well, I was gonna lean into the word credenza.
Okay, on the next one, I'm gonna quiz you on some home items. And
I don't want to.
Know.
I don't want to play that game. I'm gonna suck. Oh man.
All right. Well, today's I'm taking the girls to lunch when we finish here because it's someone's birthday.
Whose birthday is it?
Elena's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Elena.
Yeah.
She didn't hear me, but she'll hear this later in the podcast.
I thought it'd be a nice thing to do. I got her the best present, by the way. I can tell you because by the time this airs, she'll have already gotten it. But she is obsessed with Harry Styles, and so I got her a signed album.
What?
Like with his signature. Yeah.
How'd you buy that?
Well, you can.
Oh, online. I thought you used I thought you pulled some strings.
I got her a signed album, but she's like absolutely in love with him. So I think she'll be excited, because she can hang that on the wall. Yeah.
You should give her a picture of you and Harry too.
Yeah.
That one from that one time. Just so she knows.
I have a couple with him.
I know, me too.
Man, I love the Harry.
I think
this is like my Harry jacket today that he wore during the Grammys shirtless.
I can't wear anything Harry Styles wears because I cannot pull it off.
You could try. Do you want to try on my jacket?
No, I don't want to break it.
With no shirt underneath and his tats. It's kind of like the same vibe. I wore this the other day when I posted a photo. People were like, it's like the Harry Styles vibe, Jenna. I was like, that's cool.
I do feel like Harry and I would be really good friends if he'd just give me a chance. So.
Well, you can move to London.
Nah. Can't go to London. It's all gloomy over there.
I don't know. I think
it's always raining.
Be cool. I romanticize the shit out of Europe, though. I love it.
They're getting rid of all the soccer teams. Like,
they're not even going to do the Super League.
They're doing the Super League, Jenna. It's done. Our football careers are over.
They're not going to do the Super League.
They're going to do the Super League, watch. And they're going to ruin a lot of people's hearts.
How can they ban them from playing? And I read all about this last night. They're going to, how can UEFA ban them from playing, those players from playing in the World Cup?
I don't know. I just watched James Corden.
Yeah, he was upset.
He was very upset, which made me upset.
But man, see, another reason to move to Europe. I'm just going to go to Super League games. How amazing, right? If those were your season tickets, you just get to go to Super League games all the time. The best of the best talent.
I mean, I'm down to move out there if my cryptocurrency wallet hits.
You kill me every time JC's in here talking to our producer Mike about like the sucks he almost got.
I'm the almost guy.
But right before we go on, it's like I almost got Dogecoin. I almost got this.
I have proof. I was gonna get Doge.
No one cares about things you almost did, though.
Jenna, but freaking my little stupid app that I use doesn't carry coin. It doesn't carry the Dogecoin. So Coinbase, thanks for ruining my life because I could have made $1 million almost. I could have. Just like I could have with Tesla and just like I could have with Bitcoin. Mm. But everybody said, don't buy Bitcoin back in 2010 when I was trying to buy it, or 2013. No, that's what I do.
I'm too scared.
I'm too self-conscious.
I'm too scared for the
I listen to everybody. I listen to all your advice.
All right, send us stock advice and questions
No,
for the
you cannot
podcast
send us stock
to
advice.
info@fitish.com, and we'll take some questions on the next one. All right, we'll have fun in Vegas. Let me know how it goes.
Wish me luck,
Tell
guys.
us next week.
Bye.
Bye.